Alright, so for the finals of Littlewargame Proleague Season 2, it's going to be performance enhancing Frugs versus Littlewargame Gatekeeping. So both of these teams opted not to use any of their switches, so it's going to be a straight up stand up kind of fight. Um, yeah, it's going to be really exciting, I feel like. I think all these matches are very closely, evenly matched, so I would be, this could be like a very close, tight 3-2 game. It could also potentially be a 5-0 blowout or something like that. But yeah, I feel like each player on both sides definitely has the potential to take a game off of the other player. Yeah, I think for this one, we'll probably do this in reverse order just for the storyline and stuff like that. So we'll start off with Aztrack versus Miss Cladorhiza, I think, and we'll get going from there. This is the game. Oh, okay. Spawning in the bottom right, excuse me, the top right, playing for Team Littlewargame Gatekeeping, it's Cladorhiza. And in the bottom left, playing with the red pieces, it is Aztrack. Alright, I think this is going to be a very cool game. I feel like both of these players are very skilled, except they don't have exactly the meta game knowledge as much as the other players of Littlewargame do. As I think they're very skilled in RTS genres in general, but there's potential for other players to snipe people with some of the more fancier, more substandard builds, but with these two players going up against each other, I would expect to see a bit of a macro game, and it's essentially going to be who's better, I think. So we'll see how that goes. Cladorhiza is cutting a worker, going to go for a, what is this? Looks like a 2-den. And 2-den it is. Okay. So the first den is a little bit delayed, but okay. So Cladorhiza are going to go up for a 2-den. This is basically both safe and also very aggressive at the same time. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good. At the same time, Aztrack is going to go for a 1-den expand, it looks like. So, okay. So the 2-den does pretty well against the 1-den expand, I feel like. The 2-den is definitely favored, but it's not like game ending. You can defend with the workers. You should be able to defend and not die straight up. But it's going to be very important, or the micro is going to be very important to see who gets the advantage in the early game. Also, one thing to note is when you do go for the 2-den, when do you stop building houses and committing, right? Do you stop at 30 supply? Do you stop at 40? Do you stop at 50 even? Or, what's the follow-up as well, So that's something to keep an eye out on. Aztrack going to go for the Destroy Cloud build, as is the standard these days. Going to go for the second house. And this first wolf is going to go scout around for some proxies, which means it's not going to get early confirmation of this 2-den. Is all the way over here. That's a weird place to scout, especially because it's not moving at the moment. It's going to see these first wolves come in and probably going to pull everything back. Yep, there we go. Pull that back, pull that back. I would like to see a handful of workers being pulled as well. Well, this is going to be a very difficult hold. Right now it's 2 versus 2, so that's not too bad. I'm going to try to target down one of the wolves, but good micro on both sides so far. Okay, things are looking pretty even. Gonna fight with that worker. A little bit of a better fight for Aztrack right at the moment. I would like to see some workers being pulled, and as I say that, there we go. Some workers are being pulled. Where is... Did Cladorhiza get supply blocked? Yes, he did. Okay, so that's a bit of a mistake for sure. No more wolves being, or not too many wolves being produced at the moment. Cladorhiza are probably just going to go and take a natural after this. So far this is a very good hold. Very excellent hold out of Aztrack so far. Definitely does not want to lose that worker, but even if he does, he's been ahead. This is just a hold, and you're just ahead economically if you get the castle up in time. Did stop building workers though, so that means Cladorhiza is ahead in workers despite going for the 2-den. But this is still a hold. And if you hold a 2-den with the 1-den, you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling like you did what you were supposed to do. Cladorhiza is now going to go for a natural of their own. And there's going to be a wolf advantage on this side of the map, but with these workers coming in, it should be able to just ward these off. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. We'd like to see, you know, a little bit of having these workers like right-click on a mineral line and gold walk across to try to get a bit of a surround, but so far no units have gone down on both sides, and I think that means that Aztrack is feeling mighty fine despite having a bit of a worker deficit. His castle is much faster and should be fine. Cladorhiza is still supply block, gonna go for a snake charmer, so that means actually Aztrack can push back with these wolves, I think. Okay, this is actually potentially dangerous for Cladorhiza. Still supply blocked. Now this house is gonna go up, but I guess with the workers you should be able to hold. But maybe Aztrack can turn this early advantage into something else. Maybe go for, as I say that, is gonna go for a fortress. I would like to see the fortress in the main rather than in the natural over here. That's gonna be hard to discover for sure. But over here, just any sort of wolves in the front will be able to do the scouting needed. This is a bit of a fight. We have the workers coming right in Cladorhiza, so good target fire on that particular wolf. Going to take that down, and it's going to lose one wolf. So 1 for 1 so far. So we're going to have snakes over here for Cladorhiza. Looks like 3-den snakes. Pretty good, but we do have a fortress on the way for Aztrack, so snakes are really bad against dragons. Snakes, you know, they have the minus 2.5 against flying, so you do expect to see the dragons do very well against them. But with this fortress and also with the initial, loss of lack of worker production, Cladorhiza is ahead economically despite going for the 2-den versus the 1-den, so a bit of a fight over here. So generally, as the pure wolf player, you want to be sending your wolves across like this and try to target down those snakes before they get the value that they really want. Looks like these wolves have been move commanded. That's a bit of a mistake for sure, but despite that, looks like Aztrack is kind of pushing through. The wolf numbers are hitting for Cladorhiza, and when he gets basically only snakes left, they're so fragile. But yeah, there's just not enough wolves at the moment for Aztrack. We have a Dragon's Lair again in the natural. I would like to see this. Would have liked to see them in the main, but I guess so far not going to be an issue as Cladorhiza was not able to scout any of this. Aztrack is also going to go for a 3rd base, so that's a little bit greedy, especially if you see snakes on the battlefield. But it looks like it's going to go get away with that. Looks like Cladorhiza is going to go for a 3rd base of their own. And yeah, some passive play at the moment out of Cladorhiza. I would have liked to see him push out a bit more, but I guess he didn't have enough wolves to do that, so I guess that makes sense. Cladorhiza looks like it's going to take a 3rd base. When are these dragons going to pop? Still not yet. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of a... Oh, okay. Going to go for a 2nd Dragon's Lair. Is that just a... you want to send a 2nd worker there, please? Maybe? I guess not. Okay. Still, Cladorhiza has not scouted these Dragon's Lairs yet. Like, that is definitely a mistake. Especially because they're so, out in the open at the natural. Okay. And also, this army is going to be pretty hard to defend with only this handful of wolves. With the snakes over here, if the snakes get in a good position and are able to just freely deal a whole bunch of damage in the back line, then yeah, there's no way that these wolves will be able to take a good fight. Looks like Cladorhiza was able to scout this fortress, so should know that dragons are going to be on the way, and as I say, that advanced workshop is coming up immediately. So I think this is a bit of a squander out of Aztrack, in my opinion. Like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe this third base was a little bit greedy. This dragon should definitely be going across the map to do a little bit of damage. Or I guess coming in and trying to deal with this, but yeah, I guess with 3 den production versus 2 den, Cladorhiza is going to have an advantage on the ground for sure, no matter what, essentially. And I guess you have to put your dragon here to defend your third base. Yeah, so things are looking actually really good for Cladorhiza right now. If you want to see some target fire, well done. Gonna target fire the 2 snakes down first. This is not a fight you want to be taking with the wolves over here. Yeah, and despite the air advantage with the dragons against snakes, I feel like Cladorhiza has just been able to find a good angle over here, threatening the third base, gathering a handful of workers, forcing Aztrack to feel pressure and bring the wolves in to fight a disadvantaged fight against this wolf and the snake. So, good army movement and good moves out of Cladorhiza. I guess a little bit impatience out of Aztrack. You know, it's pretty greedy to go for a Dragon Slayer and a third at the same time, so that didn't work out as well as he would have liked for sure. And now Cladorhiza is in definitely a really good position, especially because these dragons can't go across the map to try to find any sort of damage. Like ideally you want to have your dragons go across the map and, you know, kill some workers, force out towers. But with this wolf snake army, Cladorhiza is able to keep Aztrack pinned at home with the dragons. So definitely not ideal for Aztrack here. Yeah, so things are looking really good for Cladorhiza. Okay, so is content enough to go for a animal testing lab and 5 dens so far. Yeah, so these wolves are kind of like useless. I would like to see them just maybe go in and try to do a little bit of damage, but you know, maybe you don't want to lose them all. What you can do also is just split your wolves, have like half of them go in one place and the half of them in the other, and try to save at least half of them. Also, you can like see if your opponent is targeting down specific wolves, and you can like split them off of the rest of your group so that the rest of your army can escape, kind of thing. Yeah, so these dragons, generally dragons are best used when you're doing on the other side of the map, trying to do some harassment, but they were forced to stay at home and defend, so this is not good. Aztrack is stuck on 2 bases, Cladorhiza is on 3, with upgrades on the way, and by now the ballista are out, so the answer is there. Aztrack is going to look to take the base again, but this is going to be way behind Cladorhiza. If you look at the income, already 1,000 behind, so you can see the difference in income over there as well. Is going to go for +1 attack as Cladorhiza, which makes sense again with the snakes. The snakes attacking extremely fast, once every 6.7, or sorry, 0.67, so every 2/3 of a second. That's going to boost their DPS significantly. So these dragons need to do something to get Aztrack back into the game. With these werewolves down on the way, it looks like Cladorhiza is going to try to play a bit of just a ground-centered play. So it's going to be really difficult because Aztrack can't really go back into the ground army without being very far behind. But at the same time, these dragons have not paid for themselves, and now ballista are out. So I don't know. Aztrack is in not an enviable situation at the moment. Has been able to get their third base up and running, so it's gonna get back in that regards. But yeah, things are looking pretty good for Cladorhiza at the moment. I would like to see a little bit more activeness out of Cladorhiza. You know, go around with the wolf snake army. Maybe you get caught caught out of position with the dragons, but then if you bring the airship ballista with it, that wouldn't be a problem. Some good pick off over here out of Aztrack. Would have liked to see him target down those 3 workers as well. That's a bit of a pick off, nice. This airship a little bit late to the party. Okay, so this sort of thing has to happen again and again for Aztrack to get back into it. So far the units is 42 workers to 28, so that is a huge income difference. And things are looking really good for Cladorhiza at the moment. Aztrack has decided, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to just play a standard beast versus beast. He's going to go for a workshop. A handful of more workers going to be falling over here, so good pick off. Ooh, that dragon barely dies. A bit unfortunate. Okay, so he's going to go for a workshop to go for a bit of a better punchy ground force, especially against wolf snakes, which I think it makes sense. We have a handful of wolves over here trying to do a little bit of scouting, a little bit of damage. It seems like it's just gonna check the space and go back home. We have werewolves on the way. Oh, looks like that werewolf is stuck. Yeah, that werewolf is definitely stuck. Probably gonna destroy. Yeah, gonna destroy this wolf's den to prevent any further things from being annoying. We could just, you know, elevator it out with the airships, but this is just gonna bother him for the rest of the game. So I don't mind just killing it straight up. Yeah, these dragons need to be a bit more active. Like, yes, you have to be a little bit like cognizant of the fact that you could lose them, and you have to be on top of, you know, like babysitting them against the ballista, but they need to do some sort of damage. Cladorhiza is mined out of its main, not quite, but close with Aztrack as well. Good pull on the workers over there, and these ballista are gonna come back to ward them off. Nice. Okay, a little bit of harassment out of Aztrack. Doesn't lose a single unit, so that's pretty good. Cladorhiza is going to try to take this 4th base on this side of the map. This could potentially come into effect later because catapults, you can rain down fire from the top over here onto this mineral line, so that could potentially be a thing that happens in the near future. These dragons are going to see the wolves and just fly away, it seems like. And we have a frontal push. There's like no units. Where are the wolves? Okay, the wolves are over here. Might want to go for a counter attack or something like that. The dragons are at the top. But this army is knocking on the doorstep of Aztrack. These 2 catapults are really exposed. I think they're going to be surrounded and killed. Some good shots over there, taking out like 3 snakes for free, essentially. Not for free, but 3 snakes before the fight begins. But that's going to be the end of the catapults. There's like nothing at home to defend. These wolves are going to go for a counterattack. These dragons are coming back to defend, but we have 2 airships for ballistas. That is a lot of ballista. And with this amount of dragons, you're not going to win this fight. Good splits though. Very good splits, actually. It's going to try to target down that ballista, but it's going to be a quick pickup. And as the dragons fall one by one, yeah, this is not looking very good. These workers are going to attack the ballista, which is very nice. But yeah, there's only 2 dragons left, and the ballista have done their job, even if they die right now. These werewolves coming in and trying to do some damage on the 3rd base. Yeah, things are looking pretty good for Cladorhiza at the moment. GG is called, Aztrack falls, and that means Cladorhiza is going to take this game on Xenos. Well played. Someone has messaged me. Alright. We'll go into game 3. It's going to be redDain versus heroofages on altitude. Spawning in the top right. This is going to be heroofages playing for team Littlewargame Gatekeeping. In the bottom left of altitude, it's going to be redDain playing for team performance enhancing Frugs. So these players played a game on, I think it was Wolf Ranges in week 3. It was a pretty long, epic macro game where heroofages tried to go for some multiple soldier drops and stuff like that, but redDain just had a better positioning, better army movement, and was able to take heroofages down. So this is heroofages' chance to do a little bit of revenge for that. I'm sure they would have studied that game in preparation for this map. and we'll see how it goes. So far, nothing too special. Yeah, I expect to see, I guess, pretty standard. These players, I think, are generally pretty standard players, and they'll play pretty standard, in my opinion. Probably just racks into mech, that sort of thing. We have a racks over here. We have a racks over here. Okay, nice and even, Stephen. I like this SimCity a lot better for redDain. This not as much, in my opinion. I guess you are preventing, quote unquote, preventing the raider jump, like over here, but it's actually not because you can just flash across. I think I'm trying to think of a circumstance where this would actually be a little bit better, but I can't seem to think of any. So I would prefer this for sure. Yeah, I think this is just better SimCity for the majority of times. Yeah, so this map, Altitude, created by Consciously Eating, if I am not mistaken. Very easy to take a natural, just with this this ramp and this ramp. Yeah, this ramp up to the natural means you're basically guaranteed to have a free natural most of the time. Unless something really cheesy, really egregious. We have an archer build out of heroofages versus just the standard, looks like double raider expand. I love the archer build, but it is a difficult build to play. Especially if you're going to go for one archer before castle. This is potentially dangerous. Like, yeah, okay. Maybe he knows something that I don't, but yeah. This is, okay, so you definitely want to, okay, if you want to be doing this, you want to have your archer tucked into the corner and your worker above it, in my opinion. Because the worker, I think the archer is more valuable at this point in time. If you lose the archer, you lose the significant like damage and the range that it prevents. So the raider should be able to come in and do 2 shots before having to force to flash away, maybe even 3 if he's greedy. There's 1, there's 2. We're gonna go for a 3rd. Yes, and then probably just flash away. Yep. Okay. Didn't quite need the 2nd flash. But where's the 2nd raider? If this 2nd raider had gone across the map, like, this is okay. Yeah, if this 2nd raider had gone across the map instantly, I think heroofages would have been basically dead, especially with just the one archer into the castle. That's just really greedy. But as it currently stands, is gonna get away with it. So the castle being significantly earlier for heroofages is gonna translate into a bit of an income lead, but it's not like game over for redDain. This is still a respectably timed castle. We have 2 raiders coming in. Probably going to want to try to jump on the weak archer. Is going to think better and just run away. Okay, fair enough. I guess this kind of unit placement, I mean the building placement, is a lot more justified when you are going to go for the archer build, for sure. If you're going to go for an archer opening. Because you are, like, with this is like, you do create a choke, but then if you have an archer here, you don't have the workers. You'd rather have the workers to protect it and stuff. We have a bird coming from heroofages, gonna do some scouting. redDain is gonna go for a quick 3rd. I like this. This is how I would play, essentially. Gonna go for a quick 3rd, especially if you have raiders versus archers. heroofages instead opted for a 2nd house and a 3rd house as well. So it looks like we're going to see a bit of a move out with constant archer production. But nothing else so far. Maybe, I guess, a base. Yeah, okay, this base could have been a little bit early if you didn't get the house, but I think that's okay. These 2, ooh, okay, that's a bit of a pick-off. Nice pick-up for redDain. Gonna take down a single archer. Not quite. Okay, good response out of heroofages. That could have been, you know, I feel like it could have been a little bit greedy and went for that, actually. So things are looking actually really good for redDain, I think. Has a quicker 3rd, is going to go for the catapults for that stability, and despite heroofages going for this archer build, wasn't able to push out with the archers. So one of the big things that you do with this archer build is you push out with 5 archers, because 5 archers is, you can 2-shot workers and everything like that. Ooh, that's a bit of a mistake for sure out of redDain, losing a raider for free. But yeah, you generally want to do like a bit of a early game push, early mid game, yeah, early game push when your opponent only has like 2 or 3 archers at home and the 1 or 2 raiders at from the beginning of the game. But was unable to capitalize on that. It's going to go across the map right now, but this tower is going to be complete. This catapult is probably going to be complete, so I don't think heroofages is going to find as much damage as he would like. Follow-up is going to be 3 racks and a advanced workshop, but let's take a look at how this push is going to do. Going to see the tower probably just turn back, honestly. Heroofages, yeah, okay. He could have tried to be a little bit greedy and did a little bit of damage here, but definitely knew that the units of redDain would have been a little bit within the vicinity, so... Ooh, that's a big shot! Okay, yeah, and I think heroofages just pulls back over here. Yep, okay. So, this bird was able to do a lot of scouting, which is nice. Yeah, so things are looking pretty good for redDain, actually. Would like to see some more production structures being built. This is going to be supply block right now, so has to build a house. There we go. So he's going to get away with a quicker third base, but that's not a huge issue at the moment. I'm going to add 2 additional racks, so it's going to go up to 4 racks versus only 3. So I think redDain is pretty good, except is lacking in the macro a tiny bit. Is supply blocked. But yeah, things are looking pretty good. I guess the income advantage isn't as large as I thought. Which, okay, makes sense. We have a 4th racks on the way for heroofages. This bird doing constantly scouting is going to see the additional racks as well. And the armory for probably archer range. Okay, so this is an army movement that is going to be scouted by this single archer, so good scouting over there. So redDain will probably know that the army is going to come in from this angle. His production is done, but the units aren't... Right now is actually a pretty good timing. The army for redDain is actually pretty small at the moment, so this is a bit of a timing just before the production kicks in. The soldiers coming in. With this catapults, you want to be targeting the archers. With the archers, you just want to be kiting. That's a big shot over here, but it's still going to be able to get into the main. Well, that's another big shot. Okay, so this so far is looking like a pretty good hold. Might be a little bit of friendly fire damage. You don't want to do that. That's a lot of friendly fire damage, actually. Looks like four workers, something like that. 3 workers have gone down. Make that 3. Okay, but so far, pretty good hold. What's the follow-up? We have workshop, a 5th racks on the way. So this is going to be, looks like a dedicated 3 base push kind of thing. And going to try to kill and overwhelm his opponent on 3 bases. But at the same time, with 4 racks and a workshop of his own, I feel like redDain will be totally fine. Did he go for the upgrade? No, he did not. Okay. So I guess it's all going to come down to essentially what heroofages is going to do right now. Try to do a little bit of multitasking with this airship. You know, try to pull the enemy army apart. But yeah. redDain is supply blocked again. That's a bit unfortunate. He's going to go for the archer range at the moment, but that's not going to be kicking in until maybe 50 seconds after. Here's the soldier drop in the main base of redDain, excuse me. Gonna force a worker pull. Well done. Quick reaction out of redDain. Looks like these soldiers are just gonna go away, or maybe drop on top of the archers. Okay, I don't hate that. These workers are gonna try and come in and try to turn the tides over a little bit better. I'm gonna pick off a soldier and just run away with life. Well done. Good, this is the sort of thing that heroofages needs to do to get back into it, I think. Actually, he's probably back into it already. Looks like redDain... what has happened? I guess he's just been putting his resources into other stuff. Yeah, okay, I feel like the army count isn't as big as it really should be for redDain. But I guess with the catapults, I guess that makes sense. Catapults are really good, of course. Yeah, okay, he's gonna tech into upgrades. And this archer range is going to complete really soon, so... Okay, things are looking pretty good, actually. Heroofages is pretty much max accelerated over here. It has a second... Okay, this is really a lot of just punching power. So we have double workshop and 4 racks. I don't think you can actually successfully... can you? Can you support this? Maybe you can. If you're oversaturated on your mines to like 100%. Yeah, I guess you can. Okay. Anyways, okay. So this is gonna be, looks like, this is like a signature Hero of Ages move where he gets a whole bunch of soldiers and drops them on top of your army with the airship over here. So it's essentially gonna come down to, will these archers be able to take down these airship before the soldiers hit the ground in the middle of the army. So yeah, okay, redDain's supply is not that good at the moment. Units are not being produced. He's gonna try to take a 4th base. The upgrade is not kicked in right just yet. So this is a great time for Hero of Ages with the bigger army supply. Good timing to attack into this 4th base. As redDain is secking up and also taking a 4th base at the same time. Here's the 2 airships on the bottom right side. It's going to be warded off, okay? This needs to be coordinated. It has to come in at the same time. Okay, that's a bit of some good shots over here. Here comes the soldier flank. Things are looking actually pretty good for redDain. Maybe not. Okay, there's a lot of soldiers. These catapults need to be targeting either the catapults or the archers. There's a lot of soldiers left over. Oh, okay. I think this might be it. Hero of Ages with an excellent fight with the soldier drops is going to be able to push redDain all the way back into his bases. It still has 5 catapults alive as well as a large amount, of soldiers. redDain going to try to pull all his workers from the 3rd base to try to hold. But he still has a handful of army units back at home over here, not doing anything. That catapult almost going down. Is gonna barely survive. This was an excellent fight out of Hero of Ages. Not going for any upgrades, not going for any shenanigans, just go for pure punching power. 4 rats and 2 workshop, just walk across the map. Yeah, and it looks like it's working. Looks like it has worked. So Hero of Ages is pretty much gonna get revenge after losing last week against redDain with a very powerful 3-base all-in essentially. redDain trying to do a little bit of micro over here. Gonna take a catapult, but there's just so many catapults still left for Hero of Ages, I think. And he just lost a whole bunch of workers to redDain. Things are looking pretty good for Hero of Ages here. Yeah, I think this might be it. Well, maybe. I guess if redDain holds, he does have the upgrade advantage, so a +1 attack for racks isn't too impactful. Okay, this is a bit of a good fight over here. You definitely want to be using your catapults a lot better. Good sniping over here. Ah, that's a big shot from that catapult over there. 3 kills on that catapult. So when you're defending this sort of thing as redDain, you want to have your archers deal with all of the soldiers, and your catapults deal with their catapults and their archers. So you want to be kiting back with your archers, while also target firing the archers and the catapults with your own catapults. So okay, I think he should be close to mining out of his main. Same thing over here, but if redDain is able to stabilize and take a 4th base as he's trying to do right now, he does have an upgrade advantage, and he does have this upgrade advantage, the archer range. Hero of Ages does have enough money to go for another push. Oh, he also got this. I'm sorry, excuse me, I forgot, I didn't see this. But Hero of Ages did take this 4th base at the same time, so actually, never mind. Scratch that. I think Hero of Ages is definitely in a good spot. The only advantage that redDain has is the upgrade advantage, and it's good, but I don't think it's like really that good if you have catapults. Looks like Hero of Ages is gonna try to go for the same thing again. Soldier drops. Perhaps it'll work this time, again, as well as it did in that initial fight. Okay, no, it looks like it's going to go for a bit of a more harassment style thing, so okay, cool. I'm fine with that. I guess if this game goes on longer and longer, I guess redDain has a better chance of getting back into it. And just if both players are on 4 bases. Anyways, here's the soldiers coming in. Ooh, looks like it's going to target down the forge. That is an exposed forge. The forge is not close to the tower for protection. I think that's going to be sniped down easily. That's a bit unfortunate. So +2 attack is going to be denied, it seems like. Yeah. Good surround over there with the worker micro for redDain. Gonna take it all out, but did lose the forge, which is unfortunate. Is gonna forge a new forge over here. Do gotta say, some good map vision over here out of heroofages. Same with redDain though, a little bit in the middle, more centered in the middle of the map, but still. I would like to see some workers being sent to the 4th base. And yeah, there they go. Okay, it's still not over. If heroofages takes a bad fight and redDain takes a really good fight, then redDain definitely still is able to come back into it, I think. These workers derping out because they're auto-repairing. Where's the hero? Okay, there it is. I heard some damage being done, so I wanted to see where it was. It's just that, whoa, this is the quote-unquote watchtower in the middle of the map. Altitude, for those of you who don't know, is based off of a StarCraft 2 map by the same name. Definitely different for sure. Altitude in StarCraft 2 is a really big map. It's generally considered a really macro map. Really, I guess, like favored for Zerg and stuff like that. But this isn't quite as big and as wide open as it is here in Littlewargame. So, heroofages maxed out is going to go for another huge play. Something I want to note, he has 2 of these that are empty, so I guess they're there for the tanking, it seems like. You go in with the 2 ones that are empty and then go in with the rest, maybe? That's a lot of catapults. heroofages has the catapult advantage, which is going to be huge, I feel like, in this sort of Rax versus Rax fight. Rax mech versus Rax mech fight. Okay, we have a bit of fight. Soldiers going in. Those are some exposed. Okay, here's the soldier drop coming in from the bottom side. heroofages needs to come in with the rest of his army. Okay, here we go. redDain should be full. Yep, he's kiting with that. Okay, some good shots over here. Okay, so far not too bad out of redDain, but the supply is not looking too good. That was a big shot over here on the top side of the archers. Okay, and this is going to be a death grip over here in this central location. This is a central location between 3rd, natural, and 4th. Yeah, once he's gotten here, there's like no stopping it really. Especially if you don't have the catapult advantage. redDain's forced to evacuate all the workers. But yeah. A little bit of friendly fire over there. redDain trying to do his best to defend, but I think it's just a numbers game at this point. Yeah, this is just a really deadly area for you to lose control of if you are playing this game. redDain trying to do his best, but heroofages is close to maxed. 4th day's up and running, whereas redDain is not mining for his. Yeah, and I think that's going to be it. heroofages streaming across the map with more and more units. redDain not having much. GG, well played. Good game. heroofages gonna do a little bit of revenge after last week's game. Well played. That's gonna bring the score to 3-1. No, excuse me, 2-1. Math? Yes. 2-1 in favor of Littlewargame Gatekeeping. Alright, let's go into map. Did I do this in the right order? Hello? Am I stupid? We watched Xenos, we watched Altitude. Okay, so this is 1-1. Okay, I completely skipped one, I feel like. Did we see Frugs? Okay, no, we did. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad. We're gonna go into Frugs versus lilyb, which is the fourth map. It's gonna be Ravaged. So this would have been the second one if we went backwards, which we were doing, except I skipped it for some reason, which is my bad. I'm sorry if you're confused. I'm also confused too, so that's okay. Anyways, Frugs versus lilyb. These players are both winless. Frugs definitely going for the proxy cheesy plays. Went for what, 2 den, 2 racks, all that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, has not gone away with the win. Same thing on lilyb. Has played a little bit more standard. Did go for like a fancy mage build on Stream Junction against the fighter. What else did lilyb do? lilyb went for a Catadrop build against Aicy, I believe, on altitude. Was not able to find success in any of this game, so it's going to be the first win for one of these players. In the top left, it's going to be Frugs of Performance Enhancing Frugs. And in the bottom right, it's going to be lilyb for LWGgatekeeping. Alright, we'll see how it goes. We have a 1 den, that might be a 2 den. 2 den versus 2 den, perhaps? lilyb a little bit slow with the 2 dens. Not the best micro. Or not the best build. Yeah, okay, it's going to be 2 den versus 2 den. That's an interesting gap to place. I'm not sure if that's intentional or if that's a mistake, but I don't see really any value of doing that. Anyways, 2 den versus 2 den, this is going to come down to micro. Who's going to do better wolf micro is essentially what it's going to come down to. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. lilyb used to be one of the best players with micro back in its Littlewargame's infancy. But I think a lot of players have matured a lot more and gotten a lot better skill-wise, whereas lilyb has not as much. So yeah, I would say definitely Frugs definitely has a chance. Yeah, so 2 den on both sides. Second house. Yep. Okay, it's gonna come down to who does more damage. Who has better micro. We have the wolves just meeting in the middle of the map. Just wanted to check how many workers both of them had. Okay, and we'll have the wolf versus wolf micro battles. So essentially, when you're playing wolf versus wolf micro, you want to have your your wolves distract more wolves, if that makes sense. So if you have like 2 wolves distracting 5 wolves like this, then you come in with you're gonna have a better advantage somewhere else on the map, right? So, and then you just want to try to, if you have less wolves on one side of the map, you run away. If you have more wolves, you try to get this around, that sort of thing. We have, so Snake Charmer on the way, so it looks like lilyb gonna go for snakes, whereas Frugs has decided instead just to go for a natural base. So we'll see how it pans out. So these 3 wolves probably going to be looking to get surrounded by these wolves of lilyb, but it's not going to go for that actually. Just going to play a lot defensive. So if lilyb plays a lot defensive like this, and just chilling, then Frugs is going to be very happy, especially because he is going to get a natural base up, whereas lilyb is not. However, that does mean that lilyb has more wolves, and is going to force Frugs to run away with these wolves, I think. This is a late... this is a big supply block. You don't want to be supply blocked if you're playing 2 den, especially if you're not, you know, progressing out of it. Frug's going to go for a workshop as a follow-up. Interesting. Did not really expect that, if I'm being honest. These wolves are going to be able to escape. So not quite as action-packed as I would have liked, but... you know, if you're not really confident, it's okay just to be really passive. But yeah, we're gonna have the wolf snake advantage over here for lilyb, whereas we have the economic and the tech advantage for Frugs essentially. That's a few too many workers, I think. You're pulling over here, but that's okay. That sort of thing happens. Looks like lilyb is gonna take a later natural base at this moment in time. I would like to see, because you haven't been pressured as lilyb, you would want to go, across the map to see what's up, and he's just going to go scout with a single wolf. I would have liked to see the entire army go across and try to see if they can do a little bit of damage, but I guess you're a little bit afraid of the 2-den, so I don't mind that. This is being delayed a lot. Really could have put that down by now, but is instead going to choose to go for more snakes instead. This wolf is going to try to get in to get a little bit of scouting information. Does see the workshop, does see the 2 wolves den, but I don't think, just the 1 wolves den, but did not see the base. Okay, and he's going to pay for its life, looks like. Pay for it with its life, okay. So the natural comes up, but it's a little bit, I would say a little bit, but it's actually a lot later than Frugs is in natural. We'll be gonna go scout with another wolf, but that might not be able to get the scouting information that lilyb wants. Like with the snakes, you want to be aggressive because you have that army advantage right now, right? So against just wolves, you should have pressed your advantage, in my opinion, but did not go for that. We have a advanced workshop coming out. Okay, I guess that's in response to the workshop, but I guess that kind of makes sense. Yeah, we have a bit of a push from Frugs. Gonna come in with, looks like, what, 10, 11 wolves and 2 catapults. This has some potential to do a little bit of damage, especially if the snakes eat a lot of shots. This wolf is gonna see that. And lilyb looks like is trying to set up a surround. Would like to see the workers being transferred over here to have better mining efficiency. But this is a pretty strong build. This is going to be a very difficult to deal with. The surround from lilyb is not going to be in time to catch these 2 catapults, but is going to catch a handful of these wolves. However, this army is already at the doorstep of lilyb. lilyb going to go for another wolves den, the 3rd wolves den right now, and also taking care of a catapult and the reinforcements. That is pretty good, especially if you don't think you can take down this fight straight up. But you are losing your production at the main base, so that's not good. He's going to pull the workers to try to get a bit of a 360 surround. We'll see how this goes. These catapults need to do huge shots, so that's a snake going down. That's a bit of a shot. Okay, that's a pretty good surround, however. I think lilyb is going to hold on, especially with all these workers for sure. But that does mean, no mining at the moment. And Frugs is gonna say, hey, I'm just gonna take another base. Okay, so let's take stock of the situation. We have 15 workers to 18, so not too good here for lilyb. Also down in the army. How did that happen? I guess just poor macro, it seems like. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, but 4-den can do a lot of damage, especially if he only gets 2. However, there's still a lot of wolves left over for Frugs. Yeah, this army will not beat this army at the current moment. lilyb needs to wait for a large army, but is gonna try to fight right now. Seems like nope, just gonna try to run away. Okay. So essentially what lilyb needs to do is surround these 2 catapults, pick them off for free if the wolves are too out of position, if they're way ahead of the rest of the units. I also would prefer to see a bit more wolves rather than just pure snake, especially because these catapults can actually 2-shot these snakes, and that would be absolutely devastating. Gonna try to go for a surround here, but where are the snakes? The snakes are kind of AFK, that's not good. They're way all the way in over here, but good micro out of Frugs trying to keep those catapults alive, and those catapults are gonna shoot. Those are the first shots. Second shot does hit on a lot of these snakes. And now these wolves have been basically sacrificed to try to take down the catapults, but unsuccessfully. And that means that the wolves were essentially useless. They tried to do a little bit of damage, tried to take the catapults, but were not able to do so, and that means this army is going to be really scary to fight, especially with the snakes, because those snakes are really fragile. Ooh, that's a big shot. what lilyb wants to do is essentially bait the catapult shot so that they do a little bit of friendly fire against Frugs' units. We'll see if he's able to do that. But good micro out of Frugs so far, making sure not to take as much friendly fire as little friendly fire as possible. These wolves coming into the natural of lilyb, trying to do a little bit of damage as well. Yeah, this is going to be really tough for lilyb to hold. It's going to blow all the workers. Let's see if that happens. There's some werewolves then on the way. That's kind of weird, but okay. We'll get to that a little bit later. There's a bit of a big surround, but I don't think that's going to be enough, honestly. There's a few too many catapults over here, and there's still a handful of wolves being still here. Yeah, I think that might just be it. I think one of the really big critical moments was lilyb trying to stick these two catapults with the wolves and just losing all the wolves for it. So, yeah, I think that might be it. There's nothing over here. Maybe he'll get, lilyb will get a single werewolf, but that's not going to be enough against all of this. Especially when your opponent is still on 3 bases and just doing fine over here. The micro was pretty good out of Frugs, actually. Credit is due where credit is due. The catapults, saving the catapults and using the wolves to get rid of those other wolves. So, well done. lilyb gonna try to pin all of lilyb's hopes on this single werewolf that's halfway done. But that's a tall task. And I think that's gonna be pretty much over. There's a single snake here. Not gonna do too much. Gonna evacuate the workers to the natural, it seems like. We're just gonna, I don't know, drop on top. Okay. Here's that werewolf. Good smash. He's gonna pick up the werewolf and drop on top of this army, but that's not gonna be enough. 90 supply to 16. Frugs is just gonna, looks like, snipe this castle. Yeah, I think that might be it. We're just waiting for the GG at this point. Good snipe on the catapults, though. But yeah, there's nothing really lilyb can do at the moment. He's gonna try to evacuate. Okay. I guess this is the finals. And, you know, you gotta do your best to the very last. But yeah, this is a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. It's gonna unload here. Okay. The main base of Frugs being ravaged. I'm gonna speed this. Ooh. That's... You're gonna have to go all the way around. This is very hidden for sure, but you're gonna have to go all the way around to get some mining over here. We'll just speed it up, honestly. Well, I guess we'll watch this airship go in and try to do a little bit of damage with Werewolf. I mean, that's nice and all, but looks like that's gonna fall. Oop, barely not, but the werewolf is gonna fall for sure. And the castle was found, so GG is called. And that's it. Now we are actually at 2-1. Alright, now let's get into game 2, which is actually going to be, or the fourth game that we watch. It's going to be Glaba versus Hobo on Cursed Temple. I would assume this is going to be a very exciting match as well. In the bottom left, for Team Performance Enhancing Frugs, it's Glaba. And in the bottom right, for Team LWGgatekeeping, it is Hobo. So Glaba, when he played against Destroy Claw on this map, went for a very interesting build, and I think it definitely had potential. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but what Glaba did is essentially went for workshop opening into double workshop and one advanced workshop, and just, you know, made 2 catapults at a time and one one airship at a time, and just walked or flowed or flied, I guess, flied across the map over here and just dropped in the main base of Destroy Call and tried to do game-ending damage there, but it did not work out. Destroy Call was able to defend. Hobo saying knock knock. Was that glaba? That was Hobo. Okay, so we have a 1 den expand, seems like, and a 1 Rex expand. I don't know. I mentioned this at the beginning of the day here, but when we watched Itsj versus Sadacaster, but I'm not a fan of this 1 den expand on this map. I don't think it's really that good, honestly. I think there's just better options. But glaba seems to think that this is actually the best build for this map at the moment, and so does Itsj, as they both choose to use it in the finals. So, I don't know. This is going to be the DC build with the second house. And looks like it's just going to be Raiders from Hobo. Pretty standard. And we'll see how it goes. Glaba stopping at 10 workers. So with this build you can stop at 10, you can also stop at 12. Hobo asking some questions to Glaba. Looks like Glaba isn't responding. He may have muted chat, perhaps. Just to focus. Because Hobo is a very talkative person, and like this can get to you if you're a little bit what's it called? If you're a little bit you know, mentally not as strong, or like at a critical time. So, you know, you could, like, muting against Hobo is, you know, also people like, I guess, Deathstroke, who are very known to be very talkative. lilyb also sometimes is pretty talkative, so it seems like glaba is either ignoring or muted Hobo, which is fair enough. These wolves trying to do a little bit of damage. I'm not going to find much, I believe. It looks like it was a single raider expand. So, yes, it's the good, correct call to keep your raider at home. And, yeah, I'm going to see how this goes. I would like to see Hobo be a little bit more aggressive with this raider and try to ward these wolves off a little bit better, but that's okay. These wolves aren't going to take down the tower or the castle anyway, so... And we'll see how this goes. You don't want to get your archer trapped. Is not going to. Well done. Cool. We're just chilling, I guess. So where do we go from here? Is someone gonna pull out some sort of crazy cheesy build, or are we just gonna go? Okay, it's a fortress. Fortress out of glaba, so dragons on the menu sometime in the future. I prefer having this house actually be here, just to block off the back route for wolves to get around. Ooh, and a fortress out of Hobo as well. Okay, this is going to be a little bit spicy. We're going to have, looks like, dragons versus dragons. And we'll see how that goes. Interesting, interesting. So, if you're going dragons versus dragons, you either... so if it's the same number of Dragon Slayer, it's just going to be basically a micro battle. If someone chooses to go for an advanced workshop and your opponent still stays on the Dragon Slayer, then the advanced workshop with the ballista airship is going to be definitely favored. Otherwise, if you are going to go for more Dragon Slayer than your opponent, then obviously more dragons is better, right? So it's going to come down to how many Dragon Slayers are both players going to put down. So is it going to be like, generally on 2 bases, you either go for 1 if you're going to go for a quick 3rd base, and just do a little bit of harassment, force out a little bit of a response, you know, try to force out some towers, try to force out an advanced workshop. Or you go for 2, which is what glaba is doing at the moment, which is kind of like the middle of the road. You can support up to 3, maybe 4 if you're fully saturated Dragon Slayers, but that is pretty risky because you're very all in on the dragons. So glaba gonna go for 2. We're gonna see how many Hobo is gonna go for. Make that 1, make that 2. Okay, so it's gonna be double Dragon Slayer versus double Dragon Slayer. Oh, we're just gonna try to go across the map with this raider and do a little bit of scouting, it seems like, but a good surround out of glaba. Oh, we're gonna try to snipe that wolf, but thinks better of it, just gonna come back to the safety of the archers. So glaba has been able to do a little bit of scouting with the wolves, so he knows that there's no third base, has a little bit of presence on this side of the map. Hobo, on the other hand, has no idea. It's gonna be a third, okay, so 3 Dragon Slayer versus 2, so if this continues the way it's going, it's going to be advantageous for glaba, because you just have more dragons, right? This raider was able to sneak by these wolves and is going to take the long way all the way around, try to do some scouting. But Hobo has no idea that glaba is not on 3 or more bases, but glaba is definitely aware of that with the map advantage given to him with the wolves. So glaba has the information advantage. Okay, this is okay. It's gonna be 3 Dragon Slayer versus 3 Dragon Slayer. Looks like both of these players had the exact same mindset coming into, exact same middle game plan into this. I'm a little bit surprised that glaba isn't being a little bit more aggressive with the scouting. Yes, there's like a tower, but actually no. When you are going for something crazy like this, you don't really want to be scouting as much. But if you were playing standard, you'd be definitely suspicious. There's no third base. What are you doing, kind of thing. But okay, so let's see how it goes. So one of the things that can make a difference is that Hobo does have archers, glaba does not. So these archers can help out with these dragon fights. However, glaba does not have that luxury. Instead, it's just gonna have to rely on pure numbers. We have towers coming up in the natural of glaba, so obviously seeing this push. We have these dragons passing each other. Do they see each other in the middle of the map? Yes, they do. So now they have confirmation that both players are going for dragons. Right now it's 2 versus 4, so that means that's going to be a huge advantage for glaba. Yeah, this is not very good for Hobo. However, these archers are trying to look to do some damage over here. Hobo is going to lose a dragon for free. Glaba's going to micro that back, so looks like it's going to be 2 dragons to nothing. But these archers, these archers are being surrounded as well. Things are looking not so good for Hobo. Losing these dragons early on means that you're not going to snowball as much. That dragon is going to die, okay? So far, 2 dragons have gone down for Hobo and 0 for glaba. And also, all these archers have gone down, so these archers can't help out with the archer fight as well. Hobo needs to come back to where his towers are and just chill over here and defend. This is not looking so good. You did kill 1 dragon though, so good snipe over there. Right now, you need to come back. No, you can't be fighting this. You can't be fighting this. Your dragons are weak. You just need to go all the way back. All the way back. Play with your towers. You have this making sure that there's no third base. That's good. Just chill over here. These wolves need to tank the shots from the watchtowers. If he's gonna, glaba is gonna commit, but he's not, so that's fine. Okay, so it's gonna be a dragon versus dragon battle. We're gonna see who has a better dragon micro, essentially. Good target fire out of Hobo. Glaba. Hobo's gonna bring that in over here to try to do a little bit of friendly fire damage. It seems like 1 dragon goes down from each side, but these 2 dragons are pretty weak from Hobo. You can pull back the micro on both sides. Firing down this dragon. Another dragon files on both sides. Looks like this one is going to fall as well. So far, 6 dragons to 3, so glaba winning in the dragon war. Another dragon falls. 1 falls over here, but this is not looking too good. Hobo's going to try to get this one down before retreating, it seems like. He's going to get that, but you need to retreat right now. Oh no, you need to retreat. Oh no. Dragon War is going in favor of glaba for sure. 5 dragons to 10, especially. Oh my goodness, this is a disaster. Especially with the same number of dragon slayers, you cannot be losing double the amount of dragons as your opponent. And because you had the archers as like for additional anti-air, this is not good. Like. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. Gonna try to do some friendly fire with these 2 dragons coming in, but not gonna do too well. 1 dragon falls. Another dragon is gonna fall, but that's 3 dragons down for are dwindling for Hobo. Hobo can't really take. This is, yeah, okay, GG is called. There's just too many dragons for glaba. And Hobo, unfortunately, he was really forced to fight because I guess if you give up this position and fight over here, then you leave your Dragon Slayer and your archers kind of just to die. I mean, your workers just to die. But yeah, archer pathing killed you. I guess archer pathing here was kind of unfortunate. Dragon's going down. Yeah, right now that's just it. There's just no more. No. Okay. Okay, now we know that glaba has muted chat for sure because Hobo said GG and glaba just hasn't responded. Kind of feel bad for Hobo not because he doesn't realize it. Now it feels like he's gonna be BM, but that's not the case. Or at least I don't think it's the case. Glaba gonna take a third base. This raider is here to deny that momentarily, but I'm just gonna, I guess, fast forward this. Yeah, that's just too many dragons. Kind of feel bad for Hobo for not getting the GG because glava's chat was muted, but that is gonna be 2-2, all tied up. So that means we're gonna go to the team captains on Sylvan Charm. It's gonna be the first time actually it's gonna be a team captain versus team captain in Pro League Season 2. It's gonna be WeirdRat versus Aicy. It's gonna be great, hopefully. All right. So, spawning in the top left, team captain for Littlewargame Gatekeeping, it is WeirdRat. And in the bottom right, team captain for performance enhancing Frugs, it is Aicy. Alright, so what do you do on this map? Sylvan Charm, people think it's like, it's actually a pretty interesting map. There's like the flashable parts over here with raiders. There's also, you know, the destructible animal testing labs over here for additional routes and stuff like that. It's actually surprisingly easy to get away with a hidden base, especially because it's a 4-player map. Yeah, some people like to play Beast. You know, Mech is also not bad on this map. You know, there's a good argument for all sorts of play. WeirdRat being really safe, gonna scatter around, doesn't want to die to something cheesy. Aicy is not doing that at the moment, however, and it's gonna be racks openings on both sides. Cool, and we'll see how that goes. So racks openings on this map, I think, make a lot of sense, especially because of the flashable locations where you can flash into the main or the pocket expansion, and so therefore you get scouting information, and yeah, just raider openings are just good in general. So, and we'll see how things develop from there. Both of these players, really good players, of course. WeirdRat and Aicy, definitely top caliber players in the war game for sure. Slight variation over here. WeirdRat gonna go for a additional worker, whereas Aicy is not. So probably gonna be what? Second raider? Yeah. Okay. So this is gonna be slightly faster castle for Aicy. I'm gonna scatter around a little bit as well. It's funny how you see us specifically here because that's where Yummy Blah Blah cheesed Aicy in week 2? Week 3? Maybe week 3? But yeah, okay. So things are looking pretty similar. Slightly faster castle for Aicy. Slightly later for a WeirdRat, but you do have the extra worker, so that's compensation, especially when you're playing against a, in a cheesy map. If someone cheeses you, that extra worker does come into handy a little bit. The raiders, high-five each other in the middle of the map and are just gonna back off. I'm gonna guess that these two raiders are probably gonna meet up with the other raiders and just come back into the middle of the map again. Yep. Nope, you're just gonna chill on top of the ramp, okay. So yeah, so far it's pretty mirrored builds. Slight variation, but pretty much the same thing. We'll see where it goes from here. That Raider of Aicy is slightly ahead of the other, which is not good, and we're going to capitalize on that, get a single shot for free. However, that second shot was really good for Aicy. You're going to double flash that Raider back, then double flash that other Raider back, but this means that these two Raiders are really low, which means WeirdRat might be able to chase and capitalize on that. So I think it's 2-hit advantage for WeirdRat, which is actually pretty big. When you're coming up this map, yep, that's exactly what I would have done. I would have pulled that back. Gonna flash and snipe that extra Raider. Well done on a WeirdRat. Small advantage for WeirdRat. Nice. WeirdRat. If I was WeirdRat, I would not go for this when I have that small advantage. I would just go for quick third. But, oh well. That sort of thing does. It's not a big issue. Aicy looks like is gonna do what I would have done if I had the advantage. But he does not have the advantage, which means this is a little bit more risky. Gonna try to go for a quick third base, but this Raider and this Archer is gonna snipe that. Okay, so gonna go back to a little bit of a impasse, a little bit of the same thing. So this castle is a little bit delayed. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to go into a bit of a standard game from here, it seems like. Racks play into a quick third base. Pretty much the standard. We have a workshop on the way. Okay, so looks like mech play is on the menu. Well, same thing with WeirdRat, it seems like. Okay, we're just chilling. I think that makes sense, especially if you go for a quick third base, because it does add a lot of added security. And a fortress on the way from Aicy. Interesting. Interesting. So is this a fake or is this a fake? I'm not really sure. Or is it just both kind of thing? WeirdRat gonna want to scout this fortress for sure. Aicy also wants to do a little bit. Did he lose a... doesn't seem like it. Where did the... Okay, it's just over here. So both players want to be able to scout and see what your opponent is up to. And an advanced workshop. This kind of leads me to believe that this is a fake. I think Aicy wants WeirdRat to scout this, maybe. He's gonna double check confirmation on this. He's gonna see the fortress. He's also gonna see the advanced workshop though. This is kind of a weird. If you are gonna fake this, this is a weird location for the advanced workshop to be. Double mill coming out of WeirdRat. Did that happen after you saw this? I'm not really sure. Is that gonna escape? No way. Oh, escape artist over there. Very slippery Raider. Gonna get in and get the scout. That's just an amazing. Just getting out on top of that is just the cherry on top. Okay, so we have double mill against, what is this? Dragon. This is so confusing to me. What is the idea behind Dragon's Lair and catapults and advanced workshops? Like, what is the plan? What is the plan indeed? WeirdRat is gonna go for double mill. So double mill, I feel like isn't that good against this many dragons, honestly. Especially if you get too many gyrocraft and they kind of bunch up, these dragons are gonna do some splash damage, and that's gonna be devastating for sure. Interesting. Where's that Raider of Aicy's? Here it is. Probably gonna try to do a little bit of scouting on its own. We'll see if it's able to do find the knowledge that it wants, find the scouting information that it wants. Gonna come into the third base. Gonna see a catapult shot, so he knows that there is a workshop on the map. probably just going to go all around and try to flash into the natural here, I feel like. Okay, so 3 Dragon Slayers. We have what looks like catapults and airships. And then we have just Advanced Workshop and I guess Gyrocrafts being built. Interesting. I really am confused. Well, actually, that's not true because I already saw this game and I know what's gonna happen. But like, when I first saw this, I had no idea what was going on. I was really interested, so I'm gonna try to do that for you. Oop, that's a mistake. You can do that. There you go. This raider is gonna go and get confirmation of these dragon slayers. So WeirdRat knows everything, absolutely everything, but he might not be able to piece things together because I had no idea too. He's gonna come into the natural and also see these catapults as well. That raider looks like it's barely gonna fall. Yes, it is, and looks like. However, that raider was very valuable. Did a lot of scouting information. You know, saw everything it needed to see. Excellent, well done. So towers coming in, towers over here, towers over here, towers over here. Just gonna try to defend against this triple Dragon Slayer. These Gyrocraft, I think they were in response to seeing this and expecting I guess a cata drop and try to shut those down. Okay, so here it comes. We have the airship over here as well as dragons. So I guess the idea over here is that with the catapult you deal with anything in the air or on the ground. With the dragons you deal with anything on the air, and you get this position over here. So the idea is that the dragons kind of shut down any sort of airplay, and the catapults reign supreme on the ground. But there's just too many Gyrocraft to begin with. So far, looks like 2 dragons have gone down for only 1 Gyrocraft, making that 2 at the moment. But yeah, so this ballista is out. That means this ballista is going to do a ton of damage against all of these air units. I would like to see some towers going out for Aicy, maybe on this side. If you're really risky, you want to do it on this side, but losing that would be huge. Gonna try to get that with the airship. It's unable to save that catapult, however. It's gonna save the 2 workers. But yeah, things are not looking too good. I would like to see a ballista out of Aicy, and as I say that, there is a ballista on the way. But this attack for Aicy did not do as well as he wanted to, for sure. I think he definitely wanted to have a bit of a chokehold over here, with towers, catapults, and dragons. Control the air with the dragons, control the ground with the catapults, and there's a tower coming up. But these dragons gonna do a little bit of a good fight over here. Take down, looks like 1 Gyrocraft for free. But with these ballista, WeirdRat's also being very conservative with these ballista. I would like to see him rotate these catapults around over here to try to deal with these towers that are coming up. But that is not going to be the case at the moment. But so far, it's a pretty good hold out of WeirdRat. This crazy and wacky attack over here, this assault, has been dealt with so far. It hasn't done as much damage as Aicy would have liked. Here comes the dragons, gonna try to do a little bit of damage, but the ballista are gonna be here as well as the Gyrocraft, good splitting out of WeirdRat to minimize splash damage of the dragons. However, this tower is gonna be up and add a lot of DPS. We have 1 ballista versus 2 ballista, and these dragons are starting to fall. So the thing with Gyrocraft is that they can be easily repaired up to full health. However, dragons, they do regenerate health, but that does take a while. So that means these dragons, while they will eventually get back up to full health, these Gyrocraft will be not instantly, they'll quickly be rejuvenated and ready to fight. So the longer the fight goes on, and the longer that Aicy or WeirdRat can drag it on without losing any of the Gyrocraft, it's going to be better. So that was a little bit of a mistake, Aicy losing a single airship kind of for free. We have these catapults over here, but they're going to be taken down by the Gyrocraft. This is going to try to save, and is able to save. Going to target down that ballista, so well done, but another catapult falls. And this assault has been doing pretty mediocre. I don't think it's been doing the damage that Aicy really wants. However, Aicy is definitely in an advantageous position, especially due to map control. And this really breaks my mind. Aicy going for a hidden base, but the WeirdRat's raider was just there for some reason, and is able to take that. That must be like the biggest mind game plays of all time or something like that. These dragons gonna come in, snipe looks like 3 workers, and then try to escape. However, these ballista are gonna take a dragon for the toll. And now with the catapult coming in, it looks like WeirdRat is slowly gonna try to break out of this position. Ooh, that's an airship that nearly dies, but is able to save that. And there's just too many ballistas over here for Aicy to really continue doing anything over here. I think it was a good idea that Aicy tried to expand and go for transition out of it, but unfortunately this hidden base got scouted by that raider, so well done out of WeirdRat. I feel like Aicy over here, you just stop building Dragon's Lair and you just play standard from here, I think, right? You forced out a ton of ballista, which means, you know, they're not going to be useful if you just don't use your dragons, right? But I guess this is a lot of infrastructure that you did invest into the dragons, triple Dragon's Lair. So, I don't know. It looks like Aicy is going to leave those... Okay, gonna try to go get this. Gonna still try to go for that hidden base, it seems like, with this worker. That raider does fall. These dragons at the same time gonna hit WeirdRat's natural. Gonna try to do a little bit of damage, kill some workers. Let's take a look at the worker count so far. Aicy definitely ahead. Not by a huge amount, but it could be more and more as he targets down more workers. That is pretty big. What is WeirdRat doing at the moment? I guess he's microing the gyrocraft here. Good splits over there. Gonna take down that airship and then take down these ballista. These ballista do not have... Oh, they do. They did not. Okay, now they're using it. That's a lot of red HP arrows, however. Especially with the tower still alive and that ballista doing a little bit of damage at the end. However, these dragons... So all the air units essentially have fallen. Right now it's only 4 gyros and 3 dragons. These gyros are barely gonna win this fight, it seems like. Gonna try to pull that back, barely saves it with 4 HP, and with the 2 ballista coming in. So air superiority goes to WeirdRat, and Aicy loses all the dragons, so this is a good hold. However, Aicy does have a 4th base on the way, so does WeirdRat, but that is a little bit delayed in comparison. And also, the upgrades are definitely in favor of Aicy. Has gone for the double animal testing lab. He's only using one of them at the moment, however. WeirdRat also got for... Actually, no, excuse me. WeirdRat did go for the Forge of his own. It has +2 air attack, or +2 mech attack, which is far more better than +1. But with the double advanced animal testing labs, Aicy can, you know, follow in the near future, perhaps. So it looks like we're gonna settle into a bit of a... What is this? A mech versus beast kind of thing? We have, looks like, yeah, I think that's what we're going to go into. And we'll see how we go from there. So these gyrocraft are still alive, which means he can kind of fight against these, especially with these dragons, especially with the ballista here. Aicy gonna try to put a tower over here. I don't know if that's gonna work. It might. But good micro out of WeirdRat with these ballista. Gonna take down a handful of dragons over here, and these dragons are too weak right now. I think like this is gonna be cleaned up. Aicy gonna try to deal a little bit of damage with the ballista, but that ballista falls, and this is a very good attack out of, or a very good hold out of WeirdRat. This tower is actually close to getting up though, but there's just nothing to do with these gyrocraft at the moment. We do have a bit of a catapult drop in the bottom right. It's going to take down a ballista over here and then target fire the mineral line. That's a lot of workers going down for free right now. Aicy is going to respond, but a little bit too late. Only has 2 workers at that mineral line. Going to immediately send more workers on that side. But that was definitely not ideal. Gonna try to chase this down with the 2 dragons, but WeirdRat is gonna drop and try to deal some damage. Not gonna be able to. Is gonna Q fire. These dragons were A-moved instead of being right-clicked onto the airship, which means that this airship has gone over here, and that's gonna be a 2nd shot. That's another 2 workers gonna go down. Make that 3 more. That's a lot of workers right now. The worker advantage is now in WeirdRat's favor. So this damage, uncharacteristic out of Aicy taking this much damage, but yeah, that definitely flips the scales in WeirdRat's favor, and WeirdRat is now in definitely a better position, especially as mech versus beast. If you're on equal bases, you're feeling good, right? And with the gyros over here, just to deal with all of these straggler wolves all across the map, things are looking really good for WeirdRat. And the supplies also agree with that. We have these gyros gonna go across and try to scout some hidden bases, and they're gonna find this base as well. So things are looking really good for WeirdRat scouting this as well. Good hold in the early game, translating into a really a moment of inattention out of Aicy. So some really big shots on the worker lines, and yeah. Looks like WeirdRat is in a very good position. These dragons try to do a little bit of damage, good pull away out of WeirdRat to save them. And then these, looks like these gyros are going to try to hunt them down. Gyros, one of the main advantages is that gyros are a lot quicker than these dragons. So if you do dragons versus dragons, you can't really catch up to them and like shut them down. But with these, with +2 air or with +2 mech, +2, yes, +2 mech, and also the advanced, the faster speed of the gyrocraft, they're gonna be able to shut down all of these dragons, and that's just really well played. Gonna take them all down. Well done. However, Aicy is gonna go for this additional base at the same time. This is just an empty airship. I thought that was a cat drop, but it is not. Aicy coming in with this ballista, gonna do a Q fire, but these two gyrocraft survive barely with 15 health each. Looks like WeirdRat is mined out of the main, so is Aicy. And now things are looking really good for WeirdRat. He's got the worker advantage due to his cata drops. He has the upgrade advantage from the early game as well. He did go for Rax armor. I think that's a mistake. He definitely wanted to go for mech armor, if I'm not mistaken. And has been able to get the better trades most of the game, so things are looking really good. Looks like he's going to try to go for another cata drop. Probably going to send it to the top side of the map to this location. But yeah, I would like to see a little bit better SimCity out of WeirdRat. Especially at his 4th base, like this workshop. Stuff like this, right? You want to put your workshops around your towers so that they're a bit more secure. We have this drop gonna go into the top side of the map, and Aicy gonna try to break down these destructible buildings, these animal testing labs, to do a little bit more map space for the beast army. This airship is gonna come back in. I'd say he probably drops both of them. Okay, one of them here, one of them there, maybe. But Aicy is going to respond in time, and the dragons and also a airship ballista are going to come over here. Aicy at the same time was trying to take this base on the bottom of the map, but these gyros are going to deal with that. The airship was destroyed over here, but Aicy going to Q fire on both mineral lines, try to do a little bit of damage. It's going to take quite a few, actually. Going to bring Aicy down to, looks like 28 workers. Make that 27. So yeah, WeirdRat is doing a great job with the multi-pronged harassment, denying a base over here, taking down a handful of workers over here, and that's exactly what you want to be doing with this mech kind of style. Now WeirdRat is maxed, and therefore he's like, okay, I can push across the map and win from here, which is a apt idea. I think it's a great idea. What does Aicy have at home? A handful of dragons, and that's kind of it. We have, what, 14 wolves and 7 dragons? That is not going to be enough for this. WeirdRat, instead of going for the straight push, straight up kill, is going to try to attack these buildings, but this is a very good counterattack out of Aicy. Going to try to do some harassment at WeirdRat's 4th base. A little bit unfortunate timing for WeirdRat here, actually. Was caught out of position, trying to go across the map. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. You don't want to be losing these ballista, because these ballista are the only thing that are keeping these gyrocrafts at bay. Good, some explosive shots over here. Some good splitting as well. That's a lot of low HP gyros at the same time, but all the ballistas have gone down to save 1. And this attack that could have done a lot of damage, especially because WeirdRat's army was out of position, in turn backfires against Aicy, and Aicy is not even at 80 supply. things are looking really good for WeirdRat. WeirdRat is still pretty much maxed. And that attack did not do what it needed to do. And just the economic advantage is also huge for WeirdRat at the moment. WeirdRat also took this base at the same time. And is gonna it's gonna catch these workers as well. Aicy trying to do a little bit of a counterattack, trying to do some damage at this 4th base again with these dragons. We have, looks like a catapult going towards the bottom side of the map. But this is the main story. This is a really big, scary main army of WeirdRat gonna go up to the top bases. Sure, this is doing a little bit of damage, but you can just chill over here. You don't mind losing this. This is definitely devastating though if you lose this. So Aicy gonna try to take this space as well, but there's not much going on. This catadrop going into the natural of is gonna be taken down by the ballista and the 2 towers. However, this is a huge siege. There's not much that Aicy can do except with these wolves. We're gonna see if those wolves can do a lot of damage. These dragons trying to pick off whatever it can. Gonna try to get a big surround, but coming in a straight line is not the choice. Gonna try to get this around, but I don't know, that's a bit of a mistake. These wolves are going down without doing too much damage. I don't think it killed a single unit yet, trying to do some friendly fire for sure. But the castle falls, and so far, all those wolves died for pretty much nothing. These dragons are trying to do some damage over here at this 5th base of WeirdRat. But there's just a little bit too much for WeirdRat, I think. These gyros also doing surprisingly very well against these dragons. Gonna take down another. And there's nothing to deal with this army still. I guess there are some wolves, but they're just streaming in one by one. Some good friendly fire over here by Aicy. But yeah, I don't think that this is going to be pretty much it. There's not anything that really Aicy can do. His army is just too small. And he doesn't have the economy to rebuild and constantly rebuild the army. Generally, when you're playing Beast against Mech, you want to have a significantly better economic advantage and just throw waves and waves. But that's not happening at the moment. Aicy's trying to do what he can with the dragons, trying to get the best out of all of the units. This army is going to be pulled back. I think that's a bit of a mistake. I think you could have just continued pushing over there, but I guess not. These dragons are going to fall, however, and so are these ballista out of Aicy. That's not good. So that is a fight win over here for WeirdRat. Aicy really doesn't have much in terms of just a straight up army. He's just still struggling to get above, what, 80 supply for the past, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe even 5. And while WeirdRat's been maxed or close to max the whole time, so things are looking really good for WeirdRat. Was able to deny this base, did not go further, but it's just going to go for the kill, it seems like. Looks like Aicy is going to try to take down this bath. He should have done that a long time ago, honestly. But he's going to try to do that right now. Looks like a dragon fell. Also, some more wolves falling as well. Yeah, the Aicy doesn't have much left to deal with this. Like, maybe even he should have went for some catapults to deal with the catapults over here. But, yeah, this is not looking too good. This is a very scary army. Bit of a catapult ball, especially with the workers to repair, and it's going to be really difficult for Aicy to break. Aicy's going to try to take this base on the bottom side of the map. It's going to do that, but there's not much that Aicy can do about this army, right? There's like not much he can really. He doesn't have an answer for this, honestly. Some more Gatling guns coming over here. We have a cat drop over here onto Aicy's base over here. Gonna take down a handful of workers. And this army is still refusing to be dislodged. These bullets are dealing damage to the dragons. That's a mineral line that's completely destroyed. Yeah, this is looking like it's pretty much over. WeirdRat with a very good hold against Aicy's build over here. And it looks like it is poised to take victory for Littlewargame Gatekeeping. This base is also found by by the Gatling guns, so there goes Aicy's pretty much last ploy, last lifeline. Where'd these go? Okay, here it is. Gonna try to do a bit more damage over here. And yeah, so things are looking really good for the WeirdRat. He's basically in Aicy's main base, and there's nothing that Aicy can do over here. I would like to see WeirdRat go for another base at the same time, but that is not happening. He's going to try to take down this base over here at the bottom side of the map for Aicy. A handful of gyros and also some gap guns over here. They take down a whole bunch of workers. It seems like there's not much to do left. So, and all these workers went down over here as well. This army is still alive in the middle of the map. Yeah, Aicy is basically dead. There's nothing much left he can do. I think really the big turning point was when this Cata drop came in and did significant damage to Aicy's mineral lines. Like before then, I think Aicy was in an okay spot, but after that, I think that's it. And GG is called, and that is it. Which means that Littlewargame Gatekeeping is your champions for Littlewargame Proleague Season 2. So, well played. Yeah, it was really exciting. It was really nice to have a team league once again. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly did. And thanks for playing for those of you who played. For those of you who didn't, you know, you can always play next time perhaps. And yeah, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.